The Mystery Machine drives to a carnival as hunger strikes Shaggy and Scooby like it never has before. Upon realizing how close they are, Scooby takes matters into his own hands. What creepy concoctions and carnivores await our heroes at this carnival? Welcome to Mysteries in the Machine.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Ethan.
And the back of the Mystery Machine is it opening? Or wait, that's the front. Wait, why are you driving? Abby, what are you doing?
I am not letting you drive, Charlie.
Why are you driving today? What is happening?
Well, I thought we'd go for a spin on the Dick Van Dyke show.
Oh, okay. I mean, that works for me.
You are oddly chill about that.
What?
Abby carjacking us.
You know what?
You don't want Charlie to drive. Trust me.
I've never been in a car with Charlie. I don't know how they drive.
I trust Abby to drive
stressed. They're a very stressed driver.
You don't know how hard I grip the steering wheel.
As somebody who's been in a car with them, they're very stressed. And if we are taking a long road trip and there's going to be other cars around, inevitably, you do want me driving over Charlie.
Valid.
I'm not a great driver, just less stressed than them.
Sometimes that's all you need.
The one thing I can do better than Abby is park.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
A gay that can park? I am shocked.
I can parallel park better than I can regular park.
I can't parallel park.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's actually really astoundingly terrible how, like, my regular parking jobs, how terrible I am. I usually, like, park and then repark, and, like, straighten myself out.
Straighten?
I try my best.
That's why you gotta park.
Gotta conform to society standards one way or the other.
Yeah.
When the parking, I do always look for the horizontal, the slanted, the diagonal spots, because those are always easier to turn into. So
yeah.
Oh, I find them worse.
My God. Okay.
You're welcome.
Parking also is very stressful for Charlie.
That's fair. All right.
Existing is stressful. It's called anxiety.
Me for real.
Okay, Ethan, you're trying to get us back on the rails.
I am.
I thought we were in a car, not on the railroad.
Oh, shush.
Not in a train.
Abby, tell us who you are, what you do, why you're here, and your history of Scooby-Doo, and your pronouns if you feel so inclined.
I use she, her pronouns. I am here because you two are cool. We're friends.
Perhaps. Could happen. Maybe.
I mean, yeah. I really just am here because I was like, put me on your podcast, because I love to share my opinions and make other people hear what I have to say.
I believe you were like, wow, nobody invites me on their podcasts. And I was like, I invited you on mine. Did you forget?
I was like, that's so long from now. This conversation was like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I don't watch a lot of Scooby-Doo. I've watched it growing up various times. And then I was like, give me an episode, and I really did want the Harlem Globetrotter episode, because I love the Harlem Globetrotters, but Dick Van Dyke is a very good second. Maybe even better, honestly. Because this episode was hilarious. And I am also Scooby in our Scooby D&Do, as Charlie likes to call it. And so I feel really good. I feel like this episode reaffirmed that I feel like I'm doing Scooby justice by how often I bring up food in D&D. And bring conversation back to food, which is really funny. And I feel like I had the opportunity to make everyone laugh. So
I also feel like previous episodes would affirm how horny Scooby is.
This is true. There's been at least 2 instances of him simping for human women.
I mean, flirting is just funny. Like in a D&D setting, when it's like, especially if it's an NPC, because it's like, I don't know, I just think that's hilarious. So
sure.
Yeah, you're just like, let me flirt with the DM, and here's both of your DMs right here. So
this is true. We are both separately her DMs.
Well, don't know what that says about me and people of authority, but
well,
we don't have time to get into that.
I think that's something for your therapist.
Yeah.
That's low on the list of therapy things.
Valid. Very valid.
Well, are we ready to talk about some Dick Van Dyke things before we get into the episode? Because it's our new guest star for Scooby-Doo and our last one. So we got to talk about Dick Van Dyke for a second.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with him.
What do we all recognize Dick Van Dyke from?
Mary Poppins!
Mary Poppins!
Do we know him from anything else?
I mean, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Night at the Museum. I was about to say, Night at the Museum. I mean, he was in Bye Bye Birdie. He was in the music band. I mean, that was before we were born, but like...
Oh, I'm so glad. In 1998, he became a Disney legend. I'm so glad.
He is a Disney legend.
I was like, when did he become one? Because he has to be one. 1998.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Amazing.
And then he's in Mary Poppins Returns.
Well, duh.
Yes, he is.
Like, I know, but like, that was like, he's in his mid-90s at that point. Like, I mean, it just, the man is, he keeps doing things. And
he
like,
he's 99.
I know.
He's still doing
100.
things.
That's why he's so amazing, is because like, no matter what he does, he's so good. And he keeps doing things. And he's so, like, who works into their... And he still always has the smile on his face is so infectious. Like, no one can look at a picture of him smiling and not smile. Like, truly. He does
have an incredible smile.
And, like, he was old and gray when he was in this episode.
I know.
And he's still around. Man is insane.
And like, no one's ever had a mean thing to say about the man.
I don't think so. I don't know.
No, at this point, no one's had a mean thing to say about the man.
I haven't seen anything that could be like bad about him, but
no, obviously, like, I mean, he's been in it.
He's been in a lot of things.
What? I didn't realize he was in so few films, actually.
He did a lot of TV. And
he did
stage stuff.
He's in a music video for Coldplay.
That's his most recent thing, looks like.
Yeah, it is.
When was what Coldplay song?
All My Love.
Called All My Love.
Oh, that's very recent. I'm not a music video person.
It was December of 2024.
Oh my goodness, he's done so many like Disney things. I didn't realize how many Disney things he'd literally done. Like, he's the narrator for a movie about like Walt Disney. He is the host of Donald Duck's 50th birthday in the 80s.
Can we also just talk about the fact that he was on The Masked Singer?
Yeah, that's wild.
He was the gnome. He was the first person to be eliminated.
Sure.
But you both should watch the performance, because one, it's a fantastic performance. Two, those costumes are massive.
Yeah.
This was recent. Yeah. So this was like okay, so like when they filmed it, like let's say like he was 95 or 96.
Right. Yeah.
Those costumes are massive. Think about how sweaty and like people are like when they take off those masks and they're like singers and whatever, like they're sweaty, they're exhausted. And
Yeah.
he took it off, he's happy, he's like fit. Oh, amazing.
Okay, I didn't even remember this thing that he was in, but this is like, oh, this is so like, does anybody else know about this besides me? But this is the show Signed Sealed Delivered on Hallmark that me and my mom used to watch.
That is just for you, bud. I did not grow up
think that
watching
is
Hallmark.
just for me. My mother watches Hallmark like all of like November, December.
Though,
like,
fun fact, my cousin was part of the crew for a Hallmark movie that came out last year. So,
that's very cool. I watch the Hallmark movies sometimes. Like I've seen some, but it's not religiously on in my house.
Sure.
I didn't realize they were still releasing more Signed Sealed Delivered things. That's why I was like, wait a second, what? Anyway,
I don't even see that on his IMDb.
It's 2014. He was in like 2 episodes back when it was a show, and then it became a movie series. Okay. And it's just cute. They find dead letters and they return them to people.
As in like, letters from dead people?
No, like letters that couldn't be delivered.
Oh,
they find them and they find the person who it was meant for and such.
That's nice.
It's very cute.
That does sound cute.
Anyway. He was on an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Insane.
What? That's not his IMDb either.
Like, what?
Hold on. I guess his IMDb isn't up to date because I don't see that here at all.
I'm on his Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
I mean, also,
yeah.
I don't think that's what they're going to highlight on his IMDb.
Oh, of course not.
But they have they have Trolls with a Z from 2016, which has a rating of 1.2 out of 10 on IMDb. So that was important enough to make it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dick Van Dyke, a world treasure, clearly.
Yes.
Correct.
And with the most iconic name ever, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, the man is both gay and a lesbian at the same time.
And his middle name is Wayne.
Love that for him.
Dick Wayne Van Dyke.
Well, his full name is Richard.
No.
He's from Missouri? I didn't know that. Hold on.
Obviously he's British. Haven't you heard his amazing Cockney accent?
Okay. I knew he was American. I didn't know he was from Missouri.
I don't know.
Okay, looks like
I cannot place his
where he was born is in South Central Missouri. Okay, so it's middle of nowhere.
Just like you, Ethan.
I'm closer to Kansas City.
I was about to say, aren't you in a city?
Yes, I am.
There you go.
Nah, Ethan lives amongst the corn.
Exactly.
I thought that was Iowa. I thought the Iowa was the corn.
Iowa has a lot of corn. Kansas has a lot of corn. Nebraska has a lot of corn. The Midwest has corn.
The Midwest is the corn.
There's more than one state with corn.
There's a lot of states with corn.
Babe, it's the U.S. There's a lot of corn.
Well, right. No, I know. I just like
everything.
Listen, I am an East Coast girl. And so this whole living in the Midwest thing is throwing me for a loop.
Okay. Abby, as I've lived here my entire life, and Charlie, you should probably know this too. When you drive past a field, you're going to see one of two things in the Midwest. It's going to be corn or soybeans, depending on the year. And the reason for that is because of nitrogen. Because corn sucks up all the nitrogen, and soybeans put it back.
Oh. Got it. Makes sense.
So
I don't know anything about farming, but that makes sense.
Well, the Midwesterners clearly do.
Yeah, they do. We're not native to here. We just live here now.
Valid.
All right. Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo.
Let's talk about Dick Van Dyke in Scooby-Doo. Where are you? Where am I?
What?
My response to whenever Charlie says Scooby-Doo, because of the Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? So I
Right.
always say, where are you? So that's, I
Okay.
wasn't expecting Charlie to respond in that manner.
You're welcome. All right, the gang is driving, as always. We're not lost today, but we are wandering aimlessly, and hey, look, there's a carnival. Let's go to a carnival. Scooby does not want to go.
But then there's food. So Scooby is down for the food. And I, too, love some good carnival food. Fried dough, fantastic.
Yeah, like, give me a funnel cake, give me a corn dog,
They
all
have,
that shit.
I have not ever tried deep fried Oreos, but every time I go to a carnival, I see that they're there. I'm like, oh, this is the carnival where I'm going to try them. Inevitably, it doesn't happen, but they're there. One day I'll try them, but
I've had them at my local county fair.
how are they?
I could not handle more than one.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. They're, I'm sure, rich and delicious.
They are
Yeah,
delicious and almost too much, to be honest.
they'll give you an Oreo-gasm, for sure.
I mean, that's close to what happened, to be honest with you.
Amazing.
You know that at some carnivals and fairs they have deep fried ice cream.
Yep.
They have deep fried butter.
I have
That's-
seen
and
that. I've never eaten it.
I haven't eaten it either. I don't know how that works. The
They
science
freeze the
of
butter
that.
and deep fry it.
Okay, because I was like, huh?
That's how they do it with the ice cream, too. They freeze it.
Okay.
You know, whatever works.
Like, the Minnesota State Fair is the biggest state fair in the country. Coincidentally, another Midwestern state. They have deep fried Kool-Aid.
How?
Freeze
Why
Kool-Aid
not?
and ice cube trays.
Why not?
Fry the Kool-Aid while it's frozen. So, have you ever had like a soup dumpling? Are you
Yeah.
familiar with that?
I love soup dumplings.
It's like that, but sweet.
I don't. Have you
And
tried
like
it?
crunchy. No.
Ew.
I've just seen it. Like on TV.
Interesting. I feel like
Yep.
You know what? We're gonna try anything. Anything.
I will try anything once.
leave it to Americans to fry anything. In my recent travels, not to the United States, I asked some foreigners their thoughts on America because that is always hysterical to me. And one of the comments was, "Why do you fry everything?" And I just
What did you
laughed at
say?
that. I laughed and I said, "I don't know." I was like, "I don't know either."
Wild.
Because we can, I think, is the answer.
That's really what it comes down to, doesn't it? Is like, we can, so we do.
Right. I think that the response to that is, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
That's
to which
something
I
my dad
respond-
likes to say a lot. Like, there's a deep fried pickle corn dog? What the fuck does this mean?
I'm sorry, I feel like that's less weird than deep fried Kool-Aid.
Okay,
Yes.
yes, but like the logistics of a pickle corn dog don't make sense to me.
That makes sense. Take a pickle,
Yeah,
you dip it in the batter,
sure.
and you fry it.
Okay, but there's a sausage in there somewhere, is the thing.
Oh.
Okay, it looks like
Pickle
they
sausage
hollow out
sandwich.
the inside. It looks like they hollow out the center of the pickle and put it in there. Okay,
This
shut
is
up,
something that
Charlie.
Scooby-Doo would eat.
I was going
Deep fried ranch, y'all. Ranch, the dressing.
That's Midwest.
Correct.
Oh, of course, yes. I don't understand.
That's Midwest coded.
The ranch obsession is crazy.
Listen, I will put any savory thing in ranch. I knew a guy in elementary school who would dip his brownies in ranch. It was gross,
No,
but he did
I'm
it.
good.
He does not do that anymore.
I'm
he
so
did.
glad that he has grown.
I would like to be able to eat dinner after this recording.
I'm sorry,
So-
Charlie.
All right. So Scooby is like all about that food. He's like, yes, I do not like the rides because I'm a dog, so dog cannot enjoy rides, but food, let's go. I'm here for it. And we have our first shenanigan of the episode. Y'all, we're putting it on the counter. Scooby gets out of the car and starts pushing it as Fred is still driving to
that
make it go
mystery
faster.
machine is moving.
And then I think I would just include this as the same shenanigan, but like Shaggy's like, I think we're there. So Scooby stops on his heels and ow.
I would count that as the same shenanigan, but it's on there nonetheless.
The smoke from his heel, like from his feet, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, poor guy.
Burned his little peats.
Yeah, but they're gonna need a lot of money if they're gonna feed Scooby. And, you know, there's no one else here at this carnival.
There's Dick Van Dyke.
That's true. They
is.
hear somebody snoring, and then they're like, who is that? And it's Dick Van Dyke sleeping in the ticket booth.
At the ticket booth. This is his carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Dick Van Dyke have a carnival? Why not?
Because he wants to. It's not the worst.
This is not the weirdest plotline that we have come across in this show. So
seems wholesome.
Okay, because this is our series finale for this show, Charlie, what would you say is the weirdest?
Let me look to see what we've had so far. Okay, well wait, first I want to say that like I feel like this is a good bookend for the series, as like we already have like Shaggy being like, oh, I need a break from all those haunted houses, let's go to the carnival. And like we're ending on a carnival amusement park thing after the first episode was also an amusement park episode of the entire series. So like it's bookended, and I think that is like very good of it, actually.
That is very good.
But let's see, what's our most buck wild story in this show? I don't know. It's hard to put it down there because we have Three Stooges.
Yep.
We have some Batman. I mean, I still say that the shenanigan from the Dynamic Scooby-Doo affair, I'm not sure anything can top. Well, maybe the house and the bridge are the best shenanigans we've ever had. Sorry, Abby, as you don't know these episodes we're talking about, but
I will be okay.
In the two Batman episodes that we have watched, first we had a house that revolved until it was underground, and on the opposite side was like a tree and some grass. So it's like, the house didn't exist. What? That's weird. And then in a separate Batman episode, we had a covered bridge that could turn all the way around.
I feel like the house is weirder than the bridge.
It is, but just the way they're used is funny.
Yeah, the way both of them are used is equally funny. They're both buck wild shenaniganery. What do you think is the weirdest plot line that we've had in this show, Ethan?
I mean, I honestly kind of want to give it to Sandy Duncan.
That's kind of where...
Or like maybe the Red Baron, because...
Yeah. My brain was going a little bit to Sandy Duncan because we have that episode. It's just like this one guy who's doing a bunch of shenaniganery all around an entire movie studio at one time.
I'll expect these things to be showing up in Scooby-Doo shortly.
That's up to Charlie's discretion.
We'll see.
I'm requesting. Maybe that's a better word to say. I'm requesting these things in Scooby-Doo.
Okay, so I think we need an exchange of goods for this request to maybe happen. I like ice cream.
I counter that with I like ice cream too. Okay.
Counterpoint. I agree. Never mind.
Yeah, so like Sandy Duncan is a little bit buck wild. The Red Baron thing, that was airplanes and a lot of Buck Wild shit in there too, with the crop dusting scenario we had.
I mean, then again, with Grandma Frickert, we had a chicken the size of a horse. So
This is true. We did have a chicken the size of a horse.
If only it was a duck.
if only.
You know, this is making me think, okay, for a long time in the future in What's New Scooby-Doo, I will try to get Abby for the giant duck episode.
Yes! For the listeners.
Very good.
Ethan, do you know what episode I'm talking about?
Ducks.
I do.
Duck Guy. We love Duck Guy.
We love Duck Guy.
Okay. Yeah. This season's been very fun. It's pretty wild.
A lot of it's been kind of underwhelming, but some of them have definitely stood out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right.
Let's
talk about this super exciting carnival where somebody is sleeping at the ticket booth.
Yep.
And yeah, it's Dick Van Dyke, and he's like, "Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah!" It lives rent free in my brain. Dick Van Dyke saying, "Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah!"
He's doing.
I'm so glad
his
that
best.
is what lives rent free in your brain.
There's a lot of things that live rent free, and most of them are from Scooby-Doo.
That's so valid, though.
It's not my fault.
I will give you one guess as to what lives in my head rent free.
Is it all of Taylor Swift's music?
Yes.
That's what I was gonna guess.
That is correct.
Where's our Scooby-Doo episode where Taylor Swift guest stars? Come on.
Shh. Scooby-Doo does not
I'm
have the
surprised
budget
she
for
wasn't
that.
part of what was the most recent crossover series they did?
Guess Who?
Guess
She's
Who?
not in Guess Who. Sorry.
I know she's not. She's probably above it, to be honest. Like, her and Weird Al don't really rub elbows that much.
Yeah, but Cher is good enough for it.
That's true. Cher was like, she was in this, so it was
That's why she came back.
Yeah.
All right. So they are given free tickets for everything at the carnival because no one is here. He has nobody to help with anything. And they're slowly figuring out, wait, is that Ticket Taker Dick Van Dyke? Is that him just in a costume? I think every time that Dick changes his outfit is a shenanigan.
Okay, so we're up to 2 now.
He really is doing the most.
The epitome of a one-man show. That is what's happening right now.
Abby, you should have seen the Don Knotts episode where there was a similar plot line, but he was trying to trick the children and scare them.
Yep. Like this, I mean, at least he's not trying to trick them, which, like, especially because he's playing his own likeness, like, he wouldn't try to trick them.
No.
I mean, it's Dick Van Dyke. He's the most endearing man. So
Exactly.
As we
That's
already
why
said.
I'm like, there's no way that he would do anything other than be like, oh yeah, it's me, because I'm really sad that no one comes to my carnival, which is just so sad.
Poor guy. Like, we don't really know why some of these celebrities ended up doing what they do. Because, like, Don Knotts is a cop. Cass Elliot has a candy factory. Dick Van Dyke has a carnival. How do they end up here?
Okay, my brain is going to, like, some of them doing it for, like, the same reason that Rupert Grint got an ice cream truck. You know, like, you know what?
Yeah.
I have the money. Let's see what happens if I do something fun with it, because
That
have the
doesn't explain
funds.
why Don Knotts was a cop.
he was a cop because it was a reference to a specific show where he played a cop.
That's true. On the Andy Griffith Show, he did play a cop.
Like, I think that one's a separate thing. But, like, Cass Elliot with the candy factory and Dick with the carnival, it's definitely like, you know, I have the money. Why don't I do something fun with it? You know? Come on. I also love when the ticket taker's like, see the ticket taker who looks just like Dick Van Dyke. Like, all the different stuff he does.
What a fucking
And then we
guy.
have another costume change. Now he's in, like, a pinstriped little hat and little cane and everything outfit. He's like, see the strong man. Here, come let me take your tickets. And every time he is gaslighting these children into being like, there's a whole crowd here. there's so many people. I can't hear you. Stop pushing. Stop shoving. Like,
Can't hear. Yeah, the can't hear you over the crowd. I was like, oh,
Sir.
all right.
Okay, so he is trying to trick the children, just not in the same way that Don Knotts was.
yeah, like Don Knotts was like, hey, come into my haunted house. I'm trying to solve a murder, and I think you're the people who did it. And Dick Van Dyke's just like, I have nothing else to do. No one is coming to my carnival. I'm not even going to make you pay. I just want you to enjoy it so you can maybe tell your friends to come. I don't know. I'm just here. And now he dresses up as the masked marvel of muscles.
Sir.
Tripping over his own dumbbell.
Listen, he's already down. Can't kick him while he's down.
No, we can't. I love the balloons that he's using for the muscles. Ugh, it's so good.
They all just pop when he hits the floor, and somehow the mask flies off too.
It's like, oh, we already had an unmasking in the episode. Well, guess what? It's Dick Van Dyke the whole time. And he's like, yeah, nobody comes here anymore because they think my carnival's haunted. Like, all of my employees left, and I'm doing it all by myself. So
then, of course, because they wanted to get away from the haunted houses, they're like, let's solve the haunted carnival. And it's like, excellent idea. Of course.
Listen, they're good kids. This is what they do for a living, though they don't make any money at it, as far as I can tell.
They don't get paid. Or at
right,
least
no, I
do.
know. It's just like, you wanted to get away from this, and here you are. Of course. But, of course.
I think they wanted to go to the carnival regardless. They were just trying to convince Shaggy and Scooby. And, my take on Velma is that, she wants to see a real ghost. So,
well, yeah.
That's why she's just like...
As someone who's had to get into the mind of Velma, that's exactly what's happening here.
I will say, you do a very good job of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ethan is Velma, okay?
This is true, except...
with the glasses and everything.
Well, yeah. Now he's going to get an orange sweater. I don't have one of those.
Josh has one, okay? He was showing us on Discord today, and I was like, Velma coded.
Listen, I just got to go to LLB and get that sweater. That's all I need to do.
Be perfect. Be such a good look on you.
Problem is, I get hot very easily, so I don't know how long I would wear the sweater for, but...
yeah.
Because, Kelly gets cold very easily, so she'll, just put her ice cold fingers, under my shirt, because I'm so warm.
And it's beneficial for both of you, because you get to cool down and she gets to warm up.
Yeah, but if she doesn't tell me she's gonna do it...
oh, then you're like, ah!
It's like, hello, I need consent.
Because sometimes she'll just, after she's, been holding a cold drink, she'll just slap her hand on the back of my neck, and I'm like...
no!
Not the neck! The neck is the worst.
I'm like, you could have put your hand anywhere on my body, and you chose my neck. Why?
Sorry, that just reminded me of something that my grandfather used to do, is, he would take out a cold water bottle, and then he would, put it on my neck. Just, as he's walking past, and I'm like, that's so cold! Thank you!
Would he just, tap you with it, or would he just,
he would just be taps me with it, oh, that's cold! Get away from me! Try to make me laugh.
My dad, when I was really little, he'd go, come here. And he'd come in, especially if he came in from outside, and he would stick his hands on my shirt on my back and go, are my hands cold? When I was a really little kid, and his fingers would be freezing.
Dad should not be doing that to you beyond a certain age.
No, it was very, on my lower back, very, I was a little kid. It was very innocent. And I would go, and, run away. It was a very, or he would do it on, kind of, the back of my neck. But it would always be, something. Or he would go, up my sleeve, on my forearm just a little bit or something like that. And he'd always just ask, are my hands cold? And I go,
Love that.
So wonderful. Real life shenaniganery.
Correct. Abby's
All right.
dad, confirmed shenaniganer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I buy that.
Especially if like we were on like a back road, no one was around. Like truly no one was around. And you're going like it's a back road, so you're going like 30 miles an hour. And so my dad would all of a sudden be like, oh, you know, like if I take my hands off the wheel, and then or he would like turn the wheel a little bit so it kind of felt like you're just like going a little
My
of course,
dad
like
did that.
you know, he's in control of the car and
Yeah.
everything, but I would just be like, don't do that, because I was like 6 and had no idea how cars worked or driving or anything like that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that all the time.
Oh, silly
Yeah.
parental figures.
But like I do want to stress, he was, now that I'm aware of how driving works, was safe and in control of the car. He was not putting me in danger.
Obviously.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
so Dick Van Dyke and the children are gonna try to solve this mystery as who should appear but a ghostly... They say it's a ghostly hand, but it's actually an arm, like a full-on arm.
Yeah, it's a whole arm all the way up to the shoulder. So, like...
Yeah. Hey, Ethan, it's the return of the luminous things.
Luminous paint. Oh,
Yeah.
This bullshit again.
I don't know if they actually named it in the episode, but like that's definitely what
That's
the
what
vibe
it was,
is.
though. Yeah.
Yeah. So, our smart gang and Dick Van Dyke have decided they're gonna go follow the arm because it's like, come this way, come this way. And I love this gag where Dick's like, no, ladies, a man should lead the way. They're like, oh, thank you, Dick. That's so nice of you. And he's like, lead the way, Freddy.
He's like, yeah, man should lead the way. Not me, though.
Because he's like, obviously, I'm still a coward. So...
I'm surprised he's not sticking with Shaggy and Scooby, but I guess he does have a financial interest in this whole thing.
We do have a good, like, 2 halves of the episode where he's with the smart gang and then he's with the scared gang. So it's a good half and half.
Are you
vibe
saying
here.
that Shaggy and Scooby aren't smart?
No, that's just how we differentiate when they split up.
Kidding.
Okay.
They're smart in a different way.
No, they're not.
They're culinarily smart.
Okay,
This
yeah.
is true. Though some of the things they try, I wouldn't, but
If it works for them, that's fine. They're not feeding me.
that's true.
So Smart Gang follows the hand, and he's like throwing the balls at the bottles.
Oh yeah, when he's like, oh, it's a nickel a piece, and he's like, he owes me $27. I was like, oh my gosh.
How many balls do you have, sir? How
I
many
feel like
these does he have to throw?
I feel like that was also partially for the prizes that he took, because he threw a bunch of balls at the bottles, and then he's like, I won! Gonna take a bunch of prizes. Like, it's probably for both.
Probably.
But I love that too. So Scooby and Shaggy are like, oh, we have to go somewhere else away from this scary hand. Where are we gonna go? Hey, look, a food stand. Is there anybody here?
Logical.
Right, there's nobody here. We totally forgot that we have to service ourselves. Let's make some hot dogs and hamburgers. You know?
You know, they're right there. You might as well do it.
Yeah.
They did get the tickets for the food, so it's not like they're stealing. This is...
Yeah, and there's nobody working behind the counter, so I see no problems with this.
Yeah, none whatsoever. What I see a problem with is that after they've put all the food onto the oven just like slides and all of the food has disappeared down into the hole.
Yeah, who did that?
When they're not looking.
Why did they do that?
Does appear to be a problem.
This is like when Shaggy was tossing a pizza and a hatch opened up and somebody threw a big metal circular disc to him instead. Like, this is the same type of shenaniganery.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna mess with you. And they're like, okay, well, did you steal the food? Because I didn't eat the food while you weren't looking. No, well, I didn't do it, so you must have done it. And we go back and forth, And they're like, okay, we have to watch the food this time. Okay? You watch this way, I watch that way, we're gonna watch it. Nothing's gonna happen. The oven disappears.
Slides into the floor. Fucking magic show.
It's gone. What the fuck is happening today?
Shenaniganery.
This is true.
Absolutely. I need to do more shit like this to you guys, where there is no rhyme or reason to it.
This is at your discretion, my dude.
It is. I feel like then you would be like, oh, can I investigate what the heck is happening there? And I'll just be like, nothing. It just happened because I wanted
you
to.
can, but I will give you no answers.
Exactly. This is only for my amusement.
Absolutely. So they run away. No one is chasing them, but they're like, should we go with the gang? Because, I mean, we feel safer when we're with them, but they're following the ghosts. So let's go the other way. Let's go over there. There's a fun house. I love Shaggy and Scooby with the mirrors. Always a great gag.
Yes,
the muscle, like when he's like, "Oh, look at my muscle," and then the little muscle on his arm, and then like the big muscle popping up, and I'm like, that is so not what it would like. So good.
Yes,
it was amazing. Like Shaggy's muscle doesn't look that bad, but in the mirror, it's like so tiny. It's great.
It's like, this man's a gymnast. Like, he has lean muscle. It's not nothing.
And then all of a sudden, Scooby sees a ghost in the mirror. But Shaggy's like, there's nothing there. What are you talking about? And then it's like, okay, fine. There's nothing there. And then when he tells
him to look again, I would have been like, I'm not looking again. I know what I saw the first time.
But there's a ghost a second time, so I don't even know where the heck they go from there. But they go into a room and they make the blockade. Guys, it's happening again. Put it on the bingo card.
That's what I'm saying. They barricade a door and it doesn't work.
Because the ghost is on the other side of the room from them, and he's taking the like lock off of the back door so that they cannot barricade that second door from him, even though he's in the room with them.
This is like in Where Are You, where Scooby hid the key by throwing it out the window.
Yes.
I mean, also, it's a ghost, so I don't know that barricades are really going to do much against a ghost.
This is true.
They don't care.
Well, we're right, of course not. But there's also that.
Right.
It's the logic of it. You know, there's not a whole lot of logic going on here.
Or lack thereof, yeah.
No, there's not.
So we're like, hey, there's a dumbbell over here. We have to put that up against the door. Okay, I can't lift it by myself. Scooby's gotta help. Scooby and Shaggy can't lift it. And then the ghost taps Scooby on the shoulder and is like, let me tap in here, okay? Shaggy doesn't notice.
Scooby's out. Scooby's like, enough said. You go, bro.
Shaggy doesn't notice until the ghost has lifted it all the way above his head. And this is our full-on white ghost man who is clearly a strong man.
Yeah.
Like, we're not even hiding that fact at all. I love Shaggy's line is like, there's nothing scarier than a ghost with muscles. Like...
Sir!
I mean, he's a twink, so...
True. But I don't see Fred as a bear, though.
That's true, he's not.
I don't know why, but that line reminded me in Halloween Town of the ghosts that go into the sweat locker. Like they enter the stuff, the sweat locker, like a really large, the sweat boxes, and they come out like really like lanky guys. And I was just like, we have the before and the after. I don't know why, like I thought of that and I had to like pause it and like laugh for a second and then I could continue.
It's such a hilarious gag. Oh my goodness. So we flash back to the Smart Gang and they have lost the ghost, clearly, because it's with Shaggy and Scooby. And we're just chatting to Dick. He's like, oh, this is how I had to run the carnival by myself. You know, when the juggler left, I had to learn to juggle. Starts juggling ice cream.
Scoops of ice cream.
And in my head, I'm like, how are your hands clean after that?
They're not.
No. This is not sanitary. None of it. None of what happens here today is sanitary.
This is correct.
As we see, we have several gags with the ice cream.
Yep. But then he tells them, "Hey, I learned how to do magic too because the magician quit." They're like, "Oh, show us." And he struggles to get the curtains open.
Okay. How many shenanigans do we want to count here with Mystifo the Mystifying? Because
yeah, that
he's just a shenanigan in and of himself today.
Yeah, should we count everything individually?
Maybe.
Like, we've got
we got
him falling.
Yeah, the curtains.
Yeah.
The bunny rabbit that just jumps out of his hat. Like, no, I don't care if it's time. Bye. See ya. The doves that come out of his sleeves.
Yep.
Just randomly. And then he's like, oh, a pretty girl deserves flowers. They appear out of nowhere, and he's like, wait, how'd I do that? Wait, what's going on? And
like, sir.
They disappear and they reappear on his back. And he's like, huh? What? So the flowers is another one. Yep. And then lastly, we have the cabinet here.
The cabinet. That was my favorite.
It's like, presto! The cabinet is stuck. It's supposed to like lift up from the bottom of the stage, and he gets stuck on top of it. And so finally, he's like, okay, guys, we're gonna disappear a person. Who wants to volunteer to help me out with this? And Velma, who, you know Velma, she likes to figure stuff out. She wants to see how this is gonna work. Mm-hmm. And so she volunteers, and he does his little like, oh, put you inside of it, flip it around, open up the back doors. She's gone! Where did she go, guys? And then they're all looking inside of this cabinet, and she's just like, walks up behind them, like, what are you guys looking at? She has no idea how this trick worked either.
No, he does. He literally told her what to do.
Did he? Maybe?
Yeah, he said go out the back door.
Maybe.
That's part of his little chant thing.
I thought he said find the door that's in the rear.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay.
He was telling Velma to find the door in the rear and go out.
Oh, I thought that he was quote unquote casting a spell, and that's what he was.
I mean, yes, that's like the vibe what he's going for, but I think he was also telling Velma, hey, go out the back door so this works.
Sorry, I just have to tell the rest of the D&D group that we are in fact meeting today. Because you didn't respond in the group.
Oh, I responded to your DM. My bad.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I will continue here. Shaggy and Scooby hide in the caterpillar ride. I have never seen a ride like this where it it pulls the thing down so you can't even see what's happening outside of it.
That's
like it's fully covered.
Dangerous.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I was like, that kind of seems like a boring ride. Like the fun part of a ride is like seeing, you know, like what's outside, or it's like if it's a roller coaster and you're like, ooh, I'm going up, but you can't see that.
Yeah.
Is this like a type of ride that exists?
I think
maybe
it's
this
meant
is why his
for
carnival is not popular.
Little kids or like people who don't like going on loop-de-loops. I think that's what.
Okay. This is like apparently a specific type. Oh, it's okay. That's not usually the same type of thing though.
Oh, that's what I thought it was.
I'm looking up like caterpillar ride to see if like that's what this is called, and I'm seeing like similar type of things where they have a tarp like that goes down on at least some of them, but
the one that it literally just looks like a circle.
Yeah, the most iconic one is a circle.
Canopy
and it's
Lake Park?
Canopy Lake.
Canopy? Oh, it was invented in Buffalo, New York.
What
I was like, how do you not know how to pronounce this? You're a northeastern person. Have you not heard of Canopy Lake Park?
Oh, in Salem, New Hampshire? I don't know.
Have you been there, Charlie?
I don't remember if I've been to specifically that, but like it's one of those things that you hear about like all the time if you're from there.
There's only one amusement park within like a reasonable driving distance from me.
That sounds terrible.
If you want to drive like 3 more hours, there's Silver Dollar City, but
what amusement park is within driving distance of you?
Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun. They're next to each other.
I feel like I've been to Canopy Lake at least once at some point. Of course it inspired a Stephen King novel. Of course it did.
Wait, the ride at Canopy Lake Park?
No, the park itself.
Oh, what book?
It inspired Stephen King's book Joyland.
That man's written so many books. I can't keep up.
Well, there you go. Caterpillar Ride kind of exists in real life, at least. I don't think it's supposed to be quite the same that it is in the episode, but
Yeah, probably not. But anyway, I guess it's really dark in there because Shaggy's like, hey, your paw's really cold and clammy, and the ghost is just there.
yeah. I mean, he could also just not be paying attention,
I
but
guess.
there's a ghost in between them. He looks slightly different than the previous strongman, but it could just be
Yeah.
whatever design things.
Yeah.
And then the smart gang is outside of the ride. Like, are you guys okay? Why are you screaming? What's happening? They're like, there's a ghost
I wonder.
here. There's a ghost on the ride. Dick Van Dyke is like, does he have a ticket? Is he a child? Does he have the child ticket? Does he have the senior citizen ticket? Like, that's not the priority, sir.
This man is running at roller coaster speed when he's like in his 50s at this point.
Yes. To try to ask them questions about this ghost man.
Yes.
And the ghost stops the ride while on it. Like, just reaches his arm out, pulls the lever, and Shaggy and Scooby go flying.
So then Dick Van Dyke is like, puts on a baseball glove and is like, I'll catch you.
Oh, that's like 5 seconds
That's
later.
But
I apologize.
They went
They
flying
go-
into the balloon thing. So, like,
Yeah.
that's
Oh.
coming.
The balloon thing. Right.
Yeah. And this is where the strongman decides to, like, make the balloons, like, make a giant-ass balloon in this, like, little, I don't know what the heck it is, like, little box they're in of balloons.
yeah.
So Shaggy and Scooby are now floating in the air. They're flying up and up and up. Dick. Oh, advertise my carnival, please!
Sir.
I don't think
Sir.
that's the advertisement you want for your carnival.
Especially considering what happens next.
No! The strongman decides to get out a mirror and use the sun's rays to pop the balloons. We've had this before. This is a Bedlam in the Big Top where
Okay, he was throwing darts at the balloons, but yeah.
he was, but there was still like balloons and like then popping the balloons to try to get them to fall to their deaths.
Yeah.
So we've had this scenario happen.
We have.
And
So
then
the ghost
we're on
pops
our
most of
last
the balloons. Yeah, and then he pops the big balloon.
and so poor Scooby's like, oh, I'll try to keep blowing it up, but like there's a hole in it. You're gonna die. Sorry.
There's also a knot where he was trying to blow. So it wasn't
Yeah, it
going
wasn't-
to do anything.
No, it wasn't. This is where Dick Van Dyke takes out a catcher's mitt and is like, oh, I played on my high school baseball team. Like, don't worry about it. I can catch them. They're like,
And
you can't
my
catch
favorite line
them.
of the whole thing.
You can't catch them with a catcher's mitt. You're right.
You're right.
I
I
played
played
shortstop.
shortstop.
I started
Sir!
tackling. I was like, what? What?
Amazing.
Like, that's going to make the difference here?
So and then they're like standing there like talking for a minute. And I'm like, you are so unbothered by the fact that there's a human and a dog falling out of the sky.
From apparently hundreds of feet in the air, because they're taking forever to get down.
Oh my god.
Because they have no idea what to do. Like, there's only so many seconds that they have to react to this. And Dick is like, okay, I got it, guys. We need ice cream. Let's get out the ice cream. And, you know, if there is any ice cream around, Shag and Scoob are going to land in it. So they do.
I mean, ice cream does solve everything, but this is not a
Apparently.
problem that I would think of to use ice cream
It's
for.
soft serve, so it's okay.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah,
glad it's
that
not
makes
hard
the
ice cream.
difference.
Oh my goodness.
Like, cause a fucking mushroom cloud of Tutti Frutti ice cream.
And then
Yeah.
when Fred's like, he was right. This Tutti Frutti is delicious. It's like,
As he
oh,
licks
I'm
like a
so-
beard of ice cream off of himself.
I want some Tutti Fruity ice cream now. Okay.
The only Tutti Frutti flavored thing I've ever had is gum. So
I've never had this flavor. I
I
just
think it's like a mixed fruit.
this is
I'm
one of
not
those
sure.
cartoon things. You know when everybody says like, "Oh my god, that food in that cartoon looks delicious." This is one of them for me.
Okay,
Like
Tutti
this
Frutti ice
and
cream
the
actually does exist. Hold on.
ice cream in this episode and like most of the candy things that were in the previous episode. I'm like, I want to eat these things. I want to know.
Okay,
They look so delicious.
Apparently, Tutti Frutti has cherries, watermelon, raisins, and pineapple, and sometimes nuts.
Why specifically raisin?
That's a good question. I
Like,
don't know.
like raisin
Sorry.
and a grape.
Grapes don't go in
watermelon,
ice cream. I don't know.
Raisin, pineapple.
Well, because I think
I
they're
like
all
two
like
of those
dried.
flavors.
Well,
I like
but it's
pineapple
it's like
and I like
pieces.
watermelon.
It's like pieces of the fruit that are in there.
In the ice cream?
Oh,
Yeah.
weird.
How would that work in soft serve? That feels like a hard serve kind of thing.
Why are you
Right?
putting
From what I'm
pieces of
seeing,
fruit
it
in my
is.
chocolate ice cream?
I don't know.
You can buy it. No, that's not Tutti Frutti ice cream. That is rainbow sherbet. Never mind.
Oh, also a good flavor. Listen, ice cream, it's not good if it's not chocolate base.
Correct.
Vanilla, I like honestly, I'd rather not eat the ice cream than eat vanilla some of the times.
I will eat vanilla if there are no other options.
Sometimes I
Abby-
will eat the vanilla. but chocolate, like the people who are like, "Oh, it's going to be too much chocolate." What do you mean? What is too much?
Why are you
chocolate?
starving yourself of joy?
If you want
Correct.
something that's too much chocolate, it's probably not ice cream. Like I've experienced too much chocolate in food before, and it's usually cake.
Cake.
Cake is where I draw the line. Cake is when I'm like, okay, if you're gonna have like, you have chocolate cake with like a different kind of frosting, or you have vice versa, like a yellow cake with a chocolate frosting. Like chocolate on chocolate is a lot when it's cake, at least to me. That's when I experience too much. But ice cream, there's never enough chocolate. There's never too much chocolate on ice cream. But I like vanilla as well. I do.
Yeah. Like, if I'm going to Dairy Queen, I am getting the Oreo Brownie Blizzard.
Yes, you are.
With
a chocolate base. Yes.
Yes.
Ethan, you said the correct words.
I normally go, because I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, I normally go for Reese's Peanut Butter Cups with chocolate ice cream, but I don't know if they still have it, but they had like a triple chocolate, like Death by Chocolate Blizzard, and it was like chocolate ice cream, brownies,
Chocolate Extreme?
That sounds
that's
chocolate.
That's what my dad
Truffle,
usually orders.
and it was like but it had like also like chocolate truffles in it. I think at one point, I don't know, but I remember having like brownies and hard pieces of chocolate and chocolate ice cream, and there might have been like one other like chocolate thing, but it was like 3 or 4 different forms of chocolate, and I was like, I want that, and I want the biggest size, and I want more chocolate on top, please.
They still have it.
Oh, what is the name of it? Is it the Chocolate Extreme?
It's Chocolate Extreme, like Charlie said.
You know what? You know what is the saddest thing about Dairy Queen to me is that when I want to order it for delivery from like DoorDash or wherever, I cannot change the flavor of ice cream.
What do you mean?
Like they have you can only order very specific things when you order it for delivery. And my favorite thing is to just get a straight up Oreo and chocolate ice cream thing.
Okay.
It always comes in vanilla if I order it delivery and I don't want to like go down there.
Rip.
It's a travesty to me.
That is unfortunate.
It's
the Oreo Brownie Blizzard is pretty close. Like, you just have more stuff. It's just brownie pieces in addition to Oreos and chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
One time, and Ethan, I want to know your opinions on this.
Yes.
So I think I don't remember where it was. But Charlie and I we had gotten our ice cream. We were like in the car, and I realized that they had made mine with a like vanilla base. And so it was vanilla ice cream with Reese's peanut butter cups mixed in.
Mhm.
And Charlie, do you know what I'm about to say?
This is Sonic, right?
Maybe it was Sonic. Okay,
I think
so
this
they
was
bring
Sonic
it out
because we've never been to Sonic since.
so they
Okay.
bring it out to the car because I really wanted ice cream. I think Sonic was the only thing that was open. So they bring it out to the car. I realize that I'm in the passenger seat. I realize mine is vanilla. And I'm like, I really wanted chocolate. And Charlie starts pulling out and is driving. And I'm like, wait, no, I wanted chocolate. And Charlie continues to drive away, even though I'm like, wait, no, I wanted chocolate. And so I could not eat my ice cream because I did not want the vanilla with the Reese's peanut butter cups. And I was so... And
I was stressed enough
Charmander.
that night. I was stressed
I was like,
this night.
I was like, I would have gone in. I would have said something like, "You didn't have to do anything," but like, you kept driving, even though I said, "Wait, stop." And I was really mad.
Charlie, when your girlfriend says something is wrong, you do something about it, or in your case, stop doing something about it.
All right.
I was so
fine.
angry.
I guess we're at an O for ice cream. I guess we both owe each other ice cream now.
Yes, that's fine. But
Actually, you brought me ice cream the other night, so
that's true. I did.
Anyway, Scooby and Shaggy land the ice cream, and
they don't die.
They do not die somehow
because it was soft serve. I was like,
apparently.
Aren't they going to hit the cart? How is this not going to work? Whatever.
I don't know how many shenanigans you've counted, Ethan, but like,
we're up to 24 so far.
Oh, I meant for this a whole scenario, like.
Well, I counted the balloons themselves as a shenanigan.
The balloons, the
yes.
falling in the ice cream, I think is another shenanigan.
Okay, yeah.
And then this is this is the first time
I'm counting the Scooby Scoop as a shenanigan.
Yes,
that's valid.
Like that.
So the next thing that happens is the first time that we have gotten in Scooby-Doo media, the gag of he's eaten so much and now Scooby has miraculously gained weight in this ice cream like thing, and he cannot be pulled out of it.
So then they're like, "You're gonna have to lose the weight. You're gonna have to get rid of the weight."
And he just starts doing stretches. Good for him, I guess.
That's the solution.
All right.
Logically.
Sure.
Listen. This is a much better joke than the entire last episode we had, okay?
Yeah, because the last episode was almost exclusively fat jokes. So
that
didn't age well.
It was an episode with Cass Elliot, who was famously a woman who was very overweight.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, we're gonna put you in a candy factory so that every 5 seconds we can make fun of you."
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot. But I would have liked the episode so much more if they had just taken all that out.
Yeah.
But this
you
time I think
Cass
it was
Elliot you can have Cass Elliot in the candy factory. That's fine. But
we didn't need the rest. But I do like this one joke about Scooby where he's just like, oh, I want my Scooby snacks. I'm gonna right away.
Yeah.
So the gang has now split up in a new direction today. We have Dick with the scared gang and then the smart gang, and they're going in opposite directions. And they're gonna meet in the middle of the midway on the midway.
Exactly.
To find the ghost. Shaggy does not want to find the ghost. And I love this entire interaction. Every time Shaggy and Dick interact, where Shaggy's trying to convince him to become a coward. To join the cult of cowardice.
And he's like, "That's not in my name. That's not..." He's like,
I'm a Van Dyke.
I'm a Van Dyke.
Well, but before we get to that, Dick yeets himself into that carnival machine where you hit the thing and see how far the thing goes up to hit the bell.
like the
Straight up yeets
strength
himself into it.
thing.
Yeah, the strength test thing.
Well, it wasn't totally his fault. It was the ghost's fault because the ghost, or first, Dick tries to hit it. He misses. He falls onto it. The ghost hits it, bangs Dick all the way at the top, and then he flies away. And then the ghost hits it again, and he breaks the bell off of it. So that's a shenanigan. And then I think another
Nothing
shenanigan.
scarier than a ghost with muscles.
Nothing scarier.
Correct. I think another shenanigan is when the ghost tries to hold onto Dick as he's like, wait, no, I have to go get your prize, actually. And then he does the running bit, and there's like dirt all over the place. And he gets away. So then the scared gang is all hiding behind a little fortune teller machine. And this is where Shaggy's like, can you just change your name? Like, will that help? Will you be able to, like, become a coward with me? Is that going to work for you? He's like, I don't even know the meaning of cowardice. No way.
We'll tell ya.
Yeah. Love Shaggy being like, just sit down. I'll tell you about it. Don't worry.
Come to the dark side. We have cookies.
They really do, actually.
Well, they have ice cream, though.
I'm sure between those two they could find some.
And then the smart gang just found a triple bicycle where all three of them are on it, and they're searching for the ghost. And Daphne's like, "Ooh, look, a photo booth, guys! I must be the vain girl who goes into the photo booth," and they're making fun of her for it. She's like, "I just want to take a picture. This looks like fun, guys. You were here to have fun."
Dick Van Dyke will want a picture to remember this day. He will.
Tell me it's not the most iconic line of Velma being like, ugh, women. What am I saying? I'm one of them.
Velma.
This is just like Velma's personality in a nutshell. She's like this. And so Daphne's taking forever, but suddenly Fred is like, okay, we're gonna open it, see like what's taking her so long. There's a ghost inside of here and not Daphne. Fred cannot capture it when he tries to tackle it. So where did Daphne go? What are we supposed to do about this? We have to go and find her. And also, Fred got some neat pictures of him trying to catch the ghost. Because the photo booth was still running.
So, I will say,
gang. Yeah.
You never know how many photos you're going to get in a photo booth. And you can think of like one or two poses, but then after that, you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do for like picture 3, picture 4? I've even seen somewhere it's 5, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? So,
I mean, that's why some of them have props. That's usually helpful.
Yeah, that's true. We love the props. So Scared Gang is still hiding, and Dick's like, no way. We're not going to hide anymore. We're going to go look for the ghost, okay? And they come out around this fortune teller machine, which we call a racial slur, of course.
Yeah.
But Dick is like, we're going to ask the fortune teller where we need to go and find this ghost. So he puts it, he's like, oh, I have to pay her a nickel. Wait, this is a penny. As she says. And she's like, you're gonna go take a boat trip. What? No, we're not. What are you talking about? And then the earth opens up and swallows them, and now they are in the Tunnel of Love.
Guess they are gonna take a boat trip.
I need the geography of this carnival. Why is the Tunnel of Love below the fortune teller?
I guess that's where they had room?
It's unclear. So Fred and Velma still looking for Daphne, and they hear some weird noises going down some stairs. And look, it's Daphne. She landed in a Dodgem car, and she was gonna go and find them, but she was having too much fun because she got distracted. Same.
That's accurate.
And we have another ghost here? There's so many fucking ghosts here, guys. There's a driver. He's just gloves and goggles and a helmet, and he starts chasing after Daphne and hitting her car until she crashes, and she's like, get his license number.
I was about to say, it's a little rude. They need to swap insurance information.
Right.
Yeah, come on. And we cannot catch up to this ghost either. He goes like straight through the turnstile because he has no body. I want to know what's happening with these ghosts. There's just so much going on.
Yeah.
So Scared Gang is in the Tunnel of Love. It is scary as hell. Is this how Tunnel of Loves are supposed to go? Does anybody know? I
I've
don't
never
know.
been in
in
one.
Well, clearly the solution is all three of us go in.
No, thank you.
I will not participate. Y'all can do whatever you want.
No, thank you.
I just have one request, is that they need to play the song What Is Love?
Oh, I will absolutely no. You can go in. Ethan and I will wait outside.
This is a Perky
Correct.
Jackson reference. That's why I need
I
it.
know.
I know. We know.
We're talking to you. What else would it be?
I don't know. I don't know if you guys remember anything. Alright. Dick is trying to figure out how to get out of here. He stands up on the boat, nearly capsizing them, and he finds a secret hatch in the ceiling, and the smart gang pulls him out of it. Hey, look, we've all come back together.
Hooray.
And Dick is still trying to sell them the entire carnival.
He's an entrepreneur. He's a businessman. I respect it.
So, like, he actively wants to get rid of it, so, like, it seems like the ghost plan is working.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And he's like, it's a lot cheaper now. Don't worry, just buy the carnival.
Wild.
Shaggy and Scooby try to walk the opposite direction of the rest of the gang, because they're like, you guys are going to run into a ghost. You guys are going to try to solve the mystery. We don't want to do this. A random, like, grated door just comes down from the ceiling and is like, nope. So, the gang cannot split up today. But we're almost to the end of the episode. We have come across the motor room, where there are a bunch of different costumes.
Oh no.
I wonder if this is the evil person's lair. Possibly. It's the strongman.
Yep.
Plot twist. If you didn't know it, it was the strongman who apparently quit the carnival. But he's been here all along.
He's been here the whole time?
Shocking.
What? And he wanted to buy the carnival for dirt cheap, and that's why he was trying to scare Dick away.
As a businessman, I respect it.
Yeah.
What? We have another person trying to buy land for cheap in Scooby-Doo?
Wild.
It's almost like that happens so often.
Yep. Shaggy and Scooby get fucking punted onto the carousel.
Yeah, they're trying to run away, and he's like, no, you can't get away. Literally kicks them in the ass. And
I'm gonna refrain from making a joke.
Abby,
Okay.
You can be as explicit as you want.
I'm just gonna say Shaggy used to taking it in the ass.
I mean...
Ethan's
he's a bottom. He is a bottom.
This is true.
So the strongman decides to try to stop the carousel to catch Shaggy and Scooby. Unclear what his goal is at this point now that he's been caught.
Right.
But he wants to catch them, and instead, they go flying into him and send him into the ice cream. And so he's been caught. Finally, we solved the mystery, guys.
Didn't even get an unmasking.
And of course, ice cream solves everything.
We did get an unmasking. Remember, Dick unmasked himself in the beginning.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, we now own a carnival? Isn't that wild?
Yep.
What idiot put Shaggy in charge of food?
Dick Van Dyke, apparently?
I do love their cute little outfits, because they're all dressed up to reopen the carnival. And then like, we need a barker. And Scooby's like, that's me. Because I'm a dog. I get to bark. Yeah. Barkity bark bark.
Ruh-roh.
And
that's how the episode ends. Yay! That's it. That's the last one. We did it, guys.
It's the last one of the new Scooby-Doo movie.
But Ethan, what time is it?
It's terror time again.
Let's do some trivia. All right. Whoop! Of course, my page decided to reload and ask if I'm a robot right now. What the fuck?
Do have a shirt that says I am proof that aliens exist, so
I was
I
like,
don't know if that makes you a robot, but
I'm not wearing something like that right now. I'm wearing my Elmo shirt right now.
Elmo's just checking in. How's everyone doing?
Not great, Elmo. I need help.
The best Elmo tweet.
Truly.
The best tweet in existence.
I don't know. This is my third Diet Coke of the day, so I'm doing pretty good.
Love that for you.
Wow, I need some more Coke. I'll do that after.
The liquid, right?
Yes. I need to go stew some Coke. Coca-Cola.
That's so funny. As if Charlie would know what Coke looks like or where to obtain it or how to obtain it.
Okay, I
I'm
don't
sure
know
they know
how
what
to
it looks
obtain it,
like.
but I know what it looks like. So fun fact.
I don't want to know the fun fact.
Do I want to know what's about to come out of your mouth?
It's not about real Coke, but
Okay.
we had a joke at Domino's about when we were putting the sugar on the lava cakes. We're like, oh yeah, just gotta douse it with Coke, guys. Gotta put the Coke on it. Where's the Coke?
Oh, okay.
We would call the sugar Coke.
Valid.
Got it.
It was just a joke. Okay.
Okay.
Trivia. That's what we were doing.
That is what we were doing.
This was the last first run episode aired on CBS, as well as the last new episode for roughly 3 years, with CBS airing reruns of Scooby-Doo Where Are You instead. In 1976, Scooby would move to ABC for the Scooby-Doo/Dynamite Hour. Blah, blah, blah.
This is the last time Nicole Jaffe voices Velma until Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire.
This episode features the smallest guest cast of this particular series because it's just one person.
You're correct.
But a lot of them are... Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe because the ghost is really just all one person too?
Because all the other like ghost things, even the fortune teller, they were voiced by the main characters of the show. So Dick Van Dyke was the only character or voice actor besides the main cast.
Got it. Okay.
This episode features the appearance of the word blog more than 2 decades prior to its first official usage, although is referring to a ferret, not an online posting.
I did see that. I don't know if you all saw that.
Yeah, there's a
ahead of
picture
times.
of Blog the Magnificent Ferret. See blog for 10 cents.
Scenes from this episode were intended to be inserted into a sort of diagnosis murder as a sweeps week gimmick circa 1997. The plot would have seen the character Jesse Travis doing some sleuthing for Mark Sloan, played by Dick Van Dyke, to get knocked on the head of dream of solving an animated mystery with Sloan. Recycling of the footage from this episode would have been necessary as the diagnosis murder budget didn't allow for their own animated sequences. Unfortunately, the deal fell through after several weeks of negotiating, as Warner Brothers was concerned of the effect it might have with the live-action movie they were developing at the time.
I have never heard of this.
It's
show.
It's a TV show that he was in. It looks like a cop show or something.
He had a more serious character in the show.
Interesting.
Which strays from his norm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Since we have cultural references. You want to take one?
Yeah, the baseball throwing concession offers Cupid dolls as prizes and altered spelling, there we go, of real world Cupid dolls, which were often used as carnival prizes as far back as the 19th.
Huh. I did not know they were a reference.
The only Cupid I know is mayonnaise.
Yeah, I was about to say Cupid mayo, but which is all the rage if you put it in.
While attempting to catch Shaggy and Scooby-Doo with a catcher's mitt as they fall from the sky, Dick Van Dyke mentions having played basketball in high school. In real life, Mr. Van Dyke dropped out of high school to join the army, but for his first acting role on The Phil Silver Show, played an army recruit who's such a gifted baseball player that he's drafted by the Yankees.
Good for
All right. Ethan, where are we at with our shenanigans for the last episode of the new Scooby-Doo movies?
The last episode of the last season of this show, we end with a final shenanigan count of 32.
Wow. I think
nearly 3 dozen.
We'll have to go over the numbers next episode in our wrap-up, but I think that means that nobody beat Josh.
Nobody did. I didn't think anybody would, but...
Oh, obviously. I didn't think so either, but it's still fun to know.
Yes.
All right. What is our Scooby Snack rating out of 5 for this episode?
The plot was non-existent, but Dick Van Dyke is funny, so I'm going to say 3.5.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I would also give it a 3.5 because, like, Dick Van Dyke, amazing. Was there a mystery? Not really.
The one-liners were fantastic. So I am going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. That brings it to a 3.67 out of 5 average.
And whose side are we on? If it's not Dick Van Dyke, then we're doing this wrong today. Because I'm on the side of this man who just wants to own a carnival, and he's so enthusiastic about it that he won't let it die even when nobody comes and everyone else is left. So, are you on the side of Dick Van Dyke?
Always.
There you go. And that concludes our final episode. Abby, do you want people to find you on the internet? I assume not, but...
Definitely not.
Do you want them to find Orzo?
I don't think that his Instagram has been posted on in a very long time. I don't think I'm logged in.
I know it logged me out.
So, if you want to find the cat, Charlie's following the cat. But other than that, I'm just here. Thanks for having me on.
You'll be invited to the Mysteries in the Machine Discord server if you so desire to join.
Wow, I am honored.
So you guys can catch Abby there if you become a patron of this podcast.
I think you should be a patron because then you'll get to hear all about the character development for our Scooby-Doo, which is a lot of fun. So
yeah, our
that
Pride
first
and Joy
episode was great.
Pride and Joy, first episode of the bonus show, talking about D&D.
Yep.
All right. Well,
speaking of which, we're D&Ding soon.
We are. I should probably prep for something. Maybe.
Yeah, you should do that.
Well, I guess in the meantime, y'all, we gotta go split up and look for clues for our next mystery. Bye.
Bye.
You can follow this podcast socials at Mysteries in the Machine Pod on Instagram. You can send a message to our email, mysteriesinthe-machinepod@gmail.com. Be sure to give us a rating, a review, or let your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws.
You can find me, Ethan, on Instagram and Threads at ethan.t.hewlin. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram.
I don't know why that got stuck in my head, but it did. You're welcome.
The Krusty Krab training film? The guy at the beginning?
Yes.
Is that what that was? Okay.
That's not even your intro music.
It's not. Okay, Charlie normally does the Perry the Platypus theme song.
It's usually
that's what's stuck in their head most of the time.
The platypus? Perry the Platypus?
And when it's usually when I'm not podcasting, but I also hum the Casper the Friendly Ghost theme quite often. This is just my life. It's just little things.
Epic the Musical in my head for the past month. So
yeah, Kyle is the one who suggested I also listen to Epic the Musical. So
how many people need to tell you to do it before you actually do it? How many people, Charlie?
It's an ADHD thing. People can tell you and you can know in your head that you should do it, but it has to be a you decision to do it.
That's true. Because I didn't start listening. I didn't listen to it until a guy on YouTube that I watched started reacting to it. So
I mean, I'd heard a few songs like way back when people would share animatics of is it called Get in the Water? But it's like the Poseidon
Get in the Water is one of Poseidon's songs. Yeah, it's like that song. There were a lot of those, but it was Percy Jackson animatics. So okay. I don't know if you want to listen to it all the way through because I have animatics that I saw and I liked and I want to send them to you, but I
Feel
don't
free
know if
to.
you care.
I know at some point, okay, I don't remember if we pinned this, but Kyla did send like a playlist of those things.
Oh, wonderful.
And I need to like
is that
watch
in
them.
the queer server or is that
Oh no, that's in my own server with me and my college buddies.
Oh, so, got it. Okay.
Yeah, I
Good
was
for
actually
Kyla.
just talking to them before this too.
Love that. All right.
I had Pink Pony Club stuck in my head since everyone's.
Kelly also loves Pink Pony Club, like to the point where we were driving around yesterday and she put on Pink Pony Club radio on Spotify.
Oh, I'll have to listen to that.
Yeah,
because
so that's like
Pink Pony Club,
Chapel Roan, and like a bunch of like recent pop stuff. Like Lady Gaga's most recent album was in the mix there.
I've not had the opportunity to listen to that yet, but I am so busy that there's an album that came out in 2020, like July of 2024, that I still have not listened to all the way through because I want to give it its due diligence.
Which album?
One Republic. Album that came out like last year. I love One Republic.
Abby, I did not know this about you.
Yeah. Oh,
I also love them.
I love their not Artificial Paradise, but the one before that. Why am I blanking on the name? The one with the blue and the
I forgot to.
Purple cover is.
Yeah.
I know that entire album by heart, and most of it is in my like 2025 favorites playlist.
The one with Apologize on it, right?
No.
It's the one with the tree with the purple background, right?
Yeah. Hang on. I need to look it up because otherwise it's going to bother me.
Okay.
Human.
Got it. Okay.
Not the tree. It's a face. But it's a blue and purple background.
That's more recent. Okay.
Here it is.
Yeah. This one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
From 2021. I'm obsessed with it. But yeah, I have not. Artificial Paradise came out in July 12th, 2024, and have not listened to the whole thing yet. And I feel like a really bad...
they were actually the first concert I ever went to when they were doing their native tour. They came to Kansas City. It was great.
Native. Yeah, that's another really good album. But yes,
that's
love
my
Wonder
favorite,
Republic.
But that's probably nostalgia talking. Anyway, Charlie has no idea what's going on. We should probably start doing stuff.
You know, we could do podcast things. That could happen. I was finding the playlist that Kyla shared with me anyway.
I'd be intrigued to see what she recommended, because I just want to see if it's the same one that I saw.
I can send it to you. A fan. Okay. Let's talk about Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo?
That is the one that I watched. Yeah. Okay.
Same vibe.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Spooky intro.
Wow, you both just had the same in the exact same inflection at the exact same time, the exact same mannerisms. Like, that was incredible.
That's what happens when you're friends with people.
The amount of times that I've gotten editing both Ethan and Ray, and we at the same time, or like, you know, do things at the same time. It happens.
Bella has busted her way into...
That's fine. Gooby Goo is here. She's our Gooby Goo. She is baby. My baby.
She's so cute.
She good. Okay. Spooky intro time.
Yeah, you have so much to work with here. You can say that Scooby's really afraid of the carnival. Scooby's like, the carnival. I don't know. And then one moves in the distance. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.